I just came across this news feed of how Border Patrol is being shot at by the Mexican cartel. Currently, there is a caravan that is leaving Tapachula, Mexico, on their way to the US border in hopes of getting here before the next election. What would happen if Border Patrol decided to quit en masse and leave our borders completely open for thousands of people to cross the border? I really don't want to think about that. This is Dark Star 44.
Following new exclusive reporting from the southern border detailing the dangers Border Patrol is facing every single day. News Nation has now learned that Border Patrol is on alert after Mexican cartels have given permission to its members to shoot at U.S. agents at the border. Now, this marks a significant escalation for the ongoing battle with those cartels and their smuggling operations there. Correspondent Allie Bradley is live in Eagle Pass, Texas, with some exclusive details. Allie.
Yeah, hey, Kelly. So it's long been kind of this understanding of sorts that the Mexican cartel stays over in Mexico. They don't fire on or attack U.S. law enforcement because it's bad for business. They will be shut down, and they know it. But there has been basically a war within the Sinaloa cartel, and that prompted this alert that we actually obtained that's circulating amongst Border Patrol that shows that cartel operatives have actually been given permission to shoot at U.S. Border Patrol agents because of their response to this fighting within the Sinaloa cartel. Border Patrol's response is prompting the deployment of Mexican law enforcement, which the cartel is trying to avoid here. So this alert was kicked out by the El Paso Sector Intelligence and Operations Center. It warns agents and officers of the threat on the south side of the border. The alert reminds agents to remain cognizant of their surroundings and to approach any cartel operatives with extreme caution. Now, this just as 2 days ago, contractors working on a ranch in the Eagle Pass area of the Del Rio sector, which is where we are, reported taking on fire from the Mexican side. According to an internal memo, the workers saw several individuals in Mexico where the shots came from, but could not determine how many people were out there. There were no reported injuries in that incident. Now, we talked with Victor Avila, who is a former special agent within Homeland Security investigation, and he says law enforcement should absolutely be concerned about this recent escalation.
You see, the cartels all want access. The Gulf cartel, CDN, everyone. The number one reason they fight for these plazas is because these plazas are the corridors to enter the United States, whether California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. And that's the major fight because the Sinaloa cartel has controlled that whole area from California, Sonora, now even far west Texas and El Paso. And so that's exactly what you're seeing right now. And that's not just fighting for the plazas, but fighting for the leadership of both of these, which happens to be one cartel now basically split into two.
Those corridors, those pathways are very lucrative, Kelly. It's a $13 billion a year business that they're fighting to maintain by pushing people and drugs through those holes. Now, I have reached out to both Customs and Border Protection and Governor Abbott because those contract workers were likely building wall and fencing there on behalf of the state of Texas. I have not heard back from either of those entities, Kelly.
Wow, this is just an incredible update. Allie, you know, we know this infighting between the Sinaloa cartel has been going on since the capture of El Mayo and one of El Chapo's sons as well. Does that threat appear to be escalating now?
Yeah, it does seem to be escalating, right? Because, again, cartel has always kind of maintained that they're staying on the south side of things. But we were just reporting on the cartel CDN using drone jammers to actually go in and intercept U.S. drones surveillance technology and capabilities, something that is a huge devastation and detriment to the U.S. side. Now, alongside of that, they also found several IEDs and RPGs. Those are rocket launchers, basically, on the south side of the border, just across from Arizona. That, along with a slew of ammunition. So we're finding a lot of kind of military-grade weaponry just on the other side of the border, which, of course, is causing concern for law enforcement down there. Now, we did ask former President Donald Trump when we had time to talk with him exclusively about this escalation and about the concern. He says troops need to go in. Take a listen to that exchange.
We need a military operation. What's happening, what you're just telling me, we need a military operation. These people have become military. They're very rich. They have a lot of money. They're among the richest people probably in the world. They're very rich and they're very evil.
Now, this all comes as a former a former Mexican security operative was just busted for basically bribery, spending 38 years in jail. So we've got issues with corruption spilling over the border. And again, Kelly, we were basically told by CBP, hey, it's never going to bleed over to the U.S. side of things because it's bad for business. But now we're seeing alerts saying, watch your back because it might spill over. So certainly concerning for law enforcement down here, Kelly.